What I think would have been really interesting is if they would have filmed, like, let's take 20 actors, 20 models who are actually overweight, and make them, do this, the real live version of this, give them a year to lose some, or 2 years even, to lose some weight with Peloton and whatever other means are necessary, and make those real actors the focal point of the Peloton ad. Hey everyone, happy Friday. Let's jump in on this Peloton controversy. I think it's really interesting. So I'm going to switch screens here. So you may have seen the ads. Peloton woman, and this is an article from Market Watch. 30-second clip sees the woman, already skinny to begin with, documenting her lifelong fitness journey in selfie mode before playing a compilation of her workout videos for her husband. The woman appears anxious throughout the ad, including when she looks up at her man for approval at the end. There's clearly something wrong. This ad has struck a nerve with a lot of people. A lot of people don't like the ad, and I understand why. She looks a little scared sometimes. She's already in great shape. Like, why is she afraid to be on this Peloton? And I understand the message of the ad. The message of the ad is not the physical shape that you're in, but what the benefits that you get when you exercise, and maybe better self-confidence, and embarking on a journey and achieving something, and maybe by achieving something with your physical health, you have the opportunity to achieve something in your personal life or your professional life. So I understand that. That's clearly the message that they're sending. What I think would have been really interesting is if they would have filmed, like, let's take 20 actors, 20 models who are actually overweight, and make them, do this, the real live version of this, give them a year to lose some, or 2 years even, to lose some weight with Peloton and whatever other means are necessary, and make those real actors the focal point of the Peloton ad. That would have been really interesting and really inspirational. And certainly they could have done that. Maybe next year we'll be talking about that new ad. But what I think is interesting here is a lot of people are saying, like, this is a big problem for Peloton, that they're losing a lot. In fact, their market price has dropped 10%. Looks like it was $36, and then it dropped to $31. So that's $3. That's 10% of their value. But let's point out a few things. I don't think this Peloton situation is as bad as it sounds. I actually think that it's actually really good for Peloton, and here's why. That's right. So first of all, the stock price is actually rebounding a little bit already, but I'm going to take you through a few things. The first is this book by Robert Cialdini called Influence: The Psychology of Persuasion. And I have this quote highlighted here. An advertiser without using deceptive tactics provides information that a brand of toothpaste is the largest selling or fastest growing, has offered us valuable evidence about the quality of the product and the probability that we will like it. Here's the reason why this is important. People rely on shortcuts. The way we survive in our world, the way we have survived for thousands of years, is by taking shortcuts. The idea behind this shortcut is there's no way for me as an individual to know everything about the world. So when I go to new places, or when I see new products or services, or I meet new people, I have to judge them based on something. So often, that's how you get stereotypes, right? Often, for example, from a professional standpoint, if I'm dressed in a hoodie like I'm wearing now, I'll be judged to be one type of professional or executive. And if I wear a coat, suit with a tie and certain types of shoes, I'll be judged to be a different type of executive or professional. Quite likely, if you look at me and I'm wearing a coat and a suit and tie, you'll probably look at me and either say you're a salesperson, you're a financial executive, or you're the CEO of a big company, or possibly you're a politician. But if I wear a hoodie, you're going to look at me and assume either I'm some casual dude in the movie or entertainment business, or I'm a tech bro, or whatever the case is. So you make assumptions about who you are based on how people dress. And you do that because we never really have enough time to gather all our facts about anything, so we kind of just have to judge. What's interesting to me about this is that advertising, the beauty of advertising actually for me is that people, and I don't have the statistic here, but people will just judge on shortcuts. So if you hear enough messaging that, Colgate is the number one toothpaste preferred from 9 out of 10 doctors, at some point I'm just going to accept that because I keep hearing it so often. Now here's the other thing. The other thing is you have research that's shown that consumers, let's call this unethical behavior, even though this Peloton ad isn't particularly unethical, but it's kind of a gaffe, it's kind of a blunder. This is a Journal of Consumer Research. Systemic bias when it comes to a consumer trying to remember whether products are unethical. When people are in the mode of buying something, they don't want to think of the harsh truths and reality that, when you buy a sneaker from Nike or another brand, I don't know Nike's production practices, so some other brand, whatever the case is, I don't have the wherewithal to understand whether or not this was made in a sweatshop or not made in a sweatshop. And frankly, if Nike says it's not made in a sweatshop, okay, I believe them. So the challenge is when you're in the mode of making a purchase, you kind of forget all the nuances that go into all the things that I may be a keyboard warrior looking to make a statement about something, about not buying a certain product because I don't like the way they handled certain situations, or they're unethical, or they're just a poor brand, or whatever the case may be. But when it comes time to shop, with all kinds of other stimulus in your mind, you may not have that at the tip of your mind to make a decision about when and where to shop. And also, people just frankly forget. And here's a financial proof that PR blunders. My core central thesis here is that I think what's happening with Peloton is that they're getting a lot of free press. Sure, it's bad press, but it's not really that bad. It's not like someone died using a Peloton. It's not like some of these other things that I'll show you that are actually really bad. And you see, of all the things that I'm showing you, like a rat in food, like a super racist shirt, potentially clobbering the fundamental nature of our democracy. In these three examples I'm about to show you, the businesses continue to do really well. So it shows that when people are keyboard warriors or have certain opinions, they may have those opinions, but when it comes time to put their money where their mouth is, they continue to buy these brands. And I'll reference that there are plenty of people who say during every election, if this president wins, whoever it is, I'm moving to Canada. And you do not see those people move to Canada or move out of the country. They're keyboard warriors. They're spouting off their mouth, and they might be upset. So let's get to it. So I did a quick Google search of top PR blunders, and this was published almost a year ago, December 26, 2018. So we'll start with the rats. The rats at Burger King cracks me up. It's not. There's a rat. There's the Burger King logo. There's bread, right? And you basically have a rat in Burger King food, right? Now, you would say, okay, holy cow, maybe I'm never going to eat at Burger King again, and I don't, because I don't like the way I feel after the food, but it's not because of this. And I will go to Burger King every now and again. And consumers also agree with me. So this rat video situation happened around June of 2018. So what I'm going to do is pull up the last 5 years for Burger King. So this is June 2018. So you have $63. So July 1st is $63. So it actually jumped right after this happened. And you kind of wonder if this dropped even further because of that. So let's say by the end of December, it went the stock. So, and I'll take a step back. Restaurant Brands International owns Burger King, and they own Popeyes and a few other chains. So granted, this is a little bit diluted with a number of other brands, right? So take that with a grain of salt. But you went from a high of 63 half a month after this stuff surfaced to a low of $52. And then this year, it's a high of $78. So Burger King is doing well. Let's look at the next one. The next one is, so you have this. This is a bad ad. Like this product, this should not exist, right? This is just insensitive completely. Okay, cool. H&M. H&M is listed on the Nasdaq Nordic Stock Exchange. So oh, and by the way, this thing happened, looks like it was January 7th of 2018. So if you look at the last 5 years, January 5th of 2018, $3, or I don't know, yeah, this is dollars. So this drops from $3.89 in January, or like let's say $4 in January 2018, drops all the way to $2.62. So it loses like a third or more of its value. But then it jumps back to 368 by October of 2018, and they had some other troubles or whatever, and then it bounces back again, and now we're at $4.25. So as you can see, about 2 years later almost, the stock is doing really well, and it kind of hovers between a low of 267 and a high of 349. So you're kind of in a good place, right? And then finally, Facebook. So Facebook has had an ongoing assault for years now. I'm not getting into the political elements of it. I'm just saying like this is happening. And so you have news coverage in December of 2015 about Cambridge Analytica. And on April 10th, 2018, Mark Zuckerberg testifies in front of Congress, right? That's Mark. So what you see is, so April 2018. So April 2018, what's interesting about this is there's a lot of problems here, like going into 2015, but the stock generally continues to climb and has good days and bad days, right? 172 drops to 168, but generally pretty good. So there's probably some news around March that causes really big drop from 185 to 159 in like a week. That's really bad. So look what happens when Mark Zuckerberg on April 10th testifies in front of Congress. It goes to about 157 or whatever, 164. It jumps in like 2 months to $207. This is their all-time high. I believe it's their all-time high. I don't think it was anywhere near this earlier. And then they have more scandals or whatever, and then it drops down to 124, jumps up to 204, and comes back up to very close to its all-time high at 201 as we stand today. So these are 3 examples. I mean, Facebook is continuously like being assaulted for, for continuing to accept political ads, for being a company that's too big and might be broken up. Different political folks are wanting Facebook and other big companies to be broken up. There's a ton of assaults on Facebook, and the stock just keeps rising. So to all the people who say this Peloton issue is going to be the end of Peloton, or it's a problem, or this hurts Peloton, I actually think it helps Peloton because a lot of Peloton is now in the zeitgeist. People are talking about Peloton. It's a silly ad. It's a ridiculous ad. It rubs people the wrong way. And people remember, at the very least, they remember the brand. And I think the next time people have the opportunity to buy something, an exercise thing, you have the attention that Peloton is a thing that people can buy. And I think ultimately you'll see the stock substantially more, do more than just rebound. It's going to do very well. All right. See you guys soon.